Hey everybody, it's Tish Hawkin here. It's great to be back with my new 6-part series, which is called Irrational Beliefs That Are Causing You Anxiety. Now, it's been a while since I've done any videos, and it's great to be back with some brand new content, and hopefully it will relate to you or maybe to somebody you know. If it doesn't relate to you, then please do tag somebody that you know that may be struggling and this might be helpful with. So for those of you who don't know me, as I said, my name's Tish Hawkin, and I'm an anxiety management coach. I coach online. I hold online sessions with my clients, and I help people mainly in business or who have got high-flying careers to overcome fears and anxieties that are actually stopping them from moving forward some way in their lives or their businesses. That could be anything from the fear of being successful, the fear of public speaking, the fear of promotion, the fear of even starting a business. You know, some people are really fearful. It seems like it's a mountain to climb. So there's many different fears and anxieties that we have. Fear and anxiety is a normal human condition, if you like. It's anxiety, and the fight or flight system is there for a reason. However, in these modern times, in this day and age, it tends to show up much more than we actually need it to. And so that's where I come in. I educate people on exactly what anxiety is, how it works in their minds and their bodies, and how to manage it. Because sometimes, you know, we can't eliminate anxiety. Sometimes we can, sometimes we can't. So it's really just about learning to cope with those feelings, learning to maybe reduce the anxiety and manage it when it shows its ugly head sometimes. So as I said, this is a 6-part series for the 1 week for the next 6 weeks, and I'm going to be talking about 6 irrational beliefs that may be causing you anxiety. So there are a number of beliefs that in general people can have that are actually causing them distress and anxiety, and these beliefs are not true. It may be true for them at that time, but what's happening is it's causing them anxiety. So every week for 6 weeks, I'm going to tackle one of these beliefs. We're going to talk through it. I would love you to interact. If you're watching this now live, as I've put this out, then please do type #live. If you're watching it on replay, then I'd love to know who you are. Type #replay, who you are, and also where you're watching from. That would be amazing. So this is really aimed to help you to recognize any beliefs that you have, or these particular beliefs that you have, that may actually be causing you anxiety, that you can look at and eradicate, so that by eradicating the belief, you can eradicate the anxiety. So Winston Churchill once said, "Perfection is the enemy of progress." Being a perfectionist can be really difficult. And my first belief that I'm going to tackle today is the belief of I must be perfect and do things perfectly. Now that can apply to any part of your life. It can apply to relationships. It can apply to your parenting. It can apply to your business, your career, anything at all. But are you a perfectionist? Because what you will find is that being a perfectionist and not doing things because you're a perfectionist, procrastinating because you're scared that you won't be able to get it completely right, can actually be causing you a lot of distress. So I have a question for you. Do you have this belief? The belief of I must be perfect and I must do things perfectly. So do you believe that you need to be perfect to start something new? That you need to know everything about the subject, about the topic, to be able to start it? Do you believe that to progress, everything needs to be done perfectly? So do you believe that you won't progress unless what you're doing is absolutely perfect, or either You're absolutely perfect. And do you believe that to be worthy, you have to be perfect? You have to be perfect looking, you have to be the perfect weight, you have to be the perfect character. So do you believe any of those things? If you do, then this video is for you. So do you find yourself fearing failure, fearing success, fearing looking stupid in front of others, and fearing not being as good as others? Are you defensive if you feel criticised? Do you find fault with yourself and with others? Are you inflexible? So do you have what we call black and white thinking? It's either all or nothing. So are you inflexible? Do you feel that you need to have excessive control over most parts of your life? And do you trust people with your things? So do you delegate? Are you able to trust people to do the job as well as you? Are you able to give the job to somebody else, whatever job that may be? So this belief causes no end of internal distress and chaos if you have this belief. And it all boils down to, what will people think of me? And can I handle it? That's what it mostly boils down to. What will people think of me? And can I handle it? When you have this belief that things have to be perfect, you have to be perfect, your fight or flight system is almost always switched on. So you're always in a state of heightened anxiety because you're constantly thinking about what you need to do to be perfect, how you need to think to be perfect, all the tick lists you've got because you want to be perfect and get everything done. Do you check things and double check things, or you're procrastinating because you can't start because it has to be perfect? And the chemical response in your body of being in that state of anxiety is quite big. You've got chemicals running around, chemicals to do with anxiety that like cortisol, that aren't great for you and your body. They're not great at all, and they can cause no end of problems as well. Do you find yourself having panic attacks maybe because you feel you're not perfect and you can't relax and you're stressed and you can't sleep? That was me at one point. I still have to keep a check on my perfectionism. So for instance, let's give you two examples. The first example, I'm going way back into my life when I was a singer. And I did that for a living. I used to sing on stage as a cabaret singer. And I was a perfectionist when it came to that. I perfected the lyrics. I mean, I hardly ever, in all of the 20 years of being a singer, forgot my lyrics. I would rehearse and rehearse and rehearse and rehearse. The outfits had to be perfect. The talk in between songs that I would chat to the audience had to be perfect. Everything had to be perfect. But as a result of that, I was quite highly strung because of that, which was very not a great state for me to be in. And also from that, I used to think that I had to work as much as I possibly could because I didn't want to let people down. I wanted to be the perfect artist for my manager, and so I would work and work and work, and I wouldn't turn anything down, and from there that caused burnout, which actually was an awful thing, which happened a couple of times. Instead of me being more relaxed and thinking it's okay, if I get a few words wrong, that's okay, people probably won't even notice. If I turn down a couple of gigs, my manager's not gonna not send me any more work. I felt like I wasn't really in control. I felt like my perfectionism was in control. And so that's an example really of how my perfectionism manifested itself. And I think it's okay to have high standards. I think having high standards and pursuing excellence is, as one of my friends, my colleagues and friends, Tariq says, pursue excellence, not perfection. And he's completely right there. You know, if you pursue excellence and high standards, and you don't reach them, you're not perfect, then that's okay. That's okay. By pursuing high standards and excellence, you're going to get to some kind of level of standard anyway. So it's all about being a bit more relaxed in who you are and what you do. So would you be able to buy into the idea that flawless is very hard to reach, that nobody is perfect, that we are all imperfect beings in an imperfect world? Would you be able to buy into the idea that high standards are there for you to reach, but you can be flexible? And can you buy into the idea, this is really important, this point, that your intrinsic worth, your value as a person is not linked to how perfect you are? That's a real biggie, that one. If you look at your perfectionism, what that will do is reduce anxiety. And as you know, my mission is to help as many people as possible out of distress and out of anxiety. If you look at your perfectionism, you can, and you tackle it, you can reduce your anxiety. It will reduce your anxiety. So if you struggle with anxiety and you're not sure why, is it because you're a perfectionist? How do you do it then? How do you do it? Well, you need to realise that not everybody will love you, and that's okay. Some people like me, some people don't like me, and that's absolutely fine. Each to their own. Not everybody will love you, and that's okay. And trying to be perfect is an irrational belief. It's irrational to think that we can be perfect. Work on your beliefs. If you want to eradicate perfectionism, then I would say work on your beliefs with a professional person who's trained in this stuff. Now, it doesn't have to be me. It can be another coach or a therapist. My background is in dealing with patients who struggled with anxiety and depression back in the past. That's my background, as well as counselling as well. But it doesn't have to be me, because you might not resonate with me. You might not think she doesn't fit with me, and that's perfectly fine. But what I would say is that if you can't tackle this yourself through using YouTube, self-help podcasts, self-help books, podcasts, etc., then maybe you do need, to chat with a professional person who can help you to eradicate your perfectionism. What you need to ask yourself, though, is how is this belief that I need to be perfect and I need to do everything perfect, how is it affecting your life? Can you sit down and write down how it's affecting your life? How is it affecting not only your life, how is it affecting your business, how is it affecting your career, how is it affecting you personally, mentally, physically? Are you able to recognize that this is a belief that you have and that it can be eliminated to reduce your anxiety? I would absolutely love to hear from you. So if you've got any comments or questions, please do put them in the comments boxes, and I will most certainly respond to them. So join me next week for the next episode 2 of the 6 irrational beliefs that I believe are causing you anxiety and holding you back. If you need to get in touch with me, please just send me a direct message and I'll be happy to chat. Thank you very much indeed, and have an amazing day. Bye for now.